So today I got a bit of a special video for you. This is going to be a compilation of several very good battleship games in Airship Escort. I've had just a few banger days of Airship Escort and battleships. And we're going to be doing that a lot in this video. This kind of dispersion and accuracy I have not seen in months. And if you didn't watch Friday's video, definitely go check it out. But what it comes down to is if you want to avoid this lock-on bug that I was talking about, you have to manually lock on and unlock, like I'm doing here, and it's going to vastly improve your dispersion, since locking onto a ship really impacts how dispersion goes. So we really want to make sure the game knows what ship we're locked onto. And sometimes it'll show, the UI will show you're locked onto something, and it won't actually be locked on. And by doing this, we can guarantee a lock-on bonus and hit salvos like that. So 2 salvos into this game, pretty much 100k. Yeah, I had a few really good days of World of Warships here before the end of last week, actually. I'm recording this on Friday. Not even playing over the weekend. This is just in a few days at the end of last week. Mislead there, didn't even lead enough. We still grab ourselves a Citadel. 115k that quick. Pretty crazy. Although, unfortunately, this one did end in a loss. So even if you do a ton of damage, maybe your positioning was bad, or your team just, fell apart. That can happen a lot too. So it's not like you're going to win every game magically with this better dispersion. But definitely go try this out. If you haven't from last week's video, seriously, you owe it to yourself to try out some of these battleships again, because it is so much fun. Just keep in mind that this can happen. Even to really good players having a really good game, 250,000 damage, and yeah, we got blown out that badly. So it's not going to fix all the issues with World of Warships. It's an online multiplayer game. There's going to be frustrations that come with this game, but at least I find I'm not having to deal with the frustration over poor RNG when I feel like I should have done more damage. Even on a salvo like this, where broadside Ohio, I'm actually not even going to get Citadels on this one. I didn't maybe aim quite low enough. We still did 20k. Hit 5 out of 8 of our shells at, 13 and a half, 14 kilometers. That's a really good salvo. I'd rather have Citadels, sure, but at least I'm not just doing a couple overpens worth of damage. That's what really got on my nerves. So it's been months, really, since I've had a streak of games this good. And it really comes down to making sure I'm locking on, unlocking, locking on a couple of times before I fire. There we go. Citadel over the island into that Ohio. It feels really, really nice. And then into some of these brawls as well against ships that I'm not going to Citadel, like a Kurfürst. Well, we could do good damage still into his upper belt, or maybe even into the turtleback at these ranges. And 18k feels pretty good, and I'm okay with sitting in this brawl. A GK, his secondary is going to do more damage to me thanks to just penning more of my ship. Although at these ranges, our accuracy and the chance of hitting a superstructure is really nice. But if he angles into us, GK has such a massive superstructure that if we trust our shot, if we can trust dispersion to actually hit the superstructure, yeah, we're going to do like 12k. It's going to be really, really nice. And you can consistently get those 10 to 15,000 damage salvos if dispersion is cooperating. There's a lot you can do as a battleship when dispersion's cooperating, and that's really going to be a theme of a lot of these clips that I have for you from multiple different games. Ohio, of course, one of the best tier 10 battleships, so really shouldn't come as much as a surprise that we're doing really well, especially in Airship Escort. It might be the best battleship to play in this game mode, but Montana's done really well for me, as you've seen. And even GK, I've had some really strong Kurfürst games where the dispersion seems to be working out pretty well for me as well. And of course, GK has that Hydro, which can be very useful in a lot of these Airship Escort game modes. I even swap over to the HE to try for a cheeky little fire. I saw he had damage controlled. That's something you can definitely try in the Ohio. You're almost a Thunderer when you swap to your HE, which is also pretty crazy about this ship. But that Kurfürst is going to go down, and we have to deal with these enemies that are pushing across the middle of the map now. How do we deal with this choke point? Well, first we're going to expose broadside a little too much and eat a Citadel in return from that Ohio. But I deserve that damage, right? It's something that I really like when the game is consistent. where I'm rewarded for catching someone's broadside, but I'm also punished for showing broadside. It feels like the game makes more sense to me logically. I can understand it better. I can learn to play positions better. Like for this map, I haven't really played this map. 25,000 damage into a curve first there. We hit 7 out of 8 shells. Like, come on, this dispersion is like it's so much better than what I've been used to in the past. It feels great. We're already up to 160 in this game. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. But I learned something by playing that position there and taking that Citadel from that Ohio across that map. Made me realize I can't play that position. Again, another just huge hit. Like, I can't play that position without understanding that a battleship can lob shells over that very low rock at me. I haven't played this map a ton at high tier because it only goes up to tier 9. And Airship Escort, of course, is forcing some pretty ridiculous brawls in this game mode. You never see this in random battles. Look at how close everyone is. It's ridiculous. Again, aiming for the superstructure. We didn't get full pens this time, but hey, 3 out of 4 hits. It's the dispersion that really matters. So I feel like I can target parts of the ship that I want to now. I love it. It's so nice. It really is. Even this Yamato here at a pretty decent range, 13, 14 kilometers away, he's angled so that I could hit his cheek. I don't think I would be confident enough in the past to really go for that salvo, where I aim for the cheek. I probably would have aimed for upper belt and superstructure and been happy with that damage. It's very easy to just miss his cheek, land in the water, or go a little bit high and then bounce off of his deck armor. You can even tell when the shells leave the barrels that they're going to be really nice and accurate. And look at that. All basically where I wanted to hit. We just didn't end up getting Citadels that time. I'm not sure what happened there. But hey, we still hit a lot exactly where I aimed. It's this confidence and consistency that I've been looking for. If you look back at videos over probably the last year and a half, I'm always talking about consistency and wanting more of that out of my battleships. And it's been here all the time. I can't believe I forgot or didn't think about this lock, unlock kind of thing. Again, I have it bound to spacebar. If you didn't watch that video, I rebound the X key is the standard key. And I just smashed my keyboard my spacebar a couple times before every salvo. And there's another dev strike. It's just Citadels all over the place suddenly. It feels so nice. Honestly, guys, I'm loving it. So you're going to probably see a lot of battleship videos as I'm really enjoying them. But don't worry, I'll be playing some cruisers and DDs on this channel some more as well. I've been putting off the Yodo grind. I think you guys probably know why I'm doing that, but I'll give it a go yet here soon. Broadside Ohio, what's going to happen? Hey, that's another Citadel and like a quarter of his HP gone, just like that, right? It's just so nice when these people walk out broadside. They've clearly made a mistake. You can actually do damage to them. It feels great. It's awesome. Broadside Napoli now. Hopefully, we're going to be able to hit him as well. It's just so nice. These people are making massive errors. And I really, really want the game to give me the ability to punish that error. And yeah, another dev strike in this game. Oh man, it feels so good. It feels so good. So you have to be trying this. Another 200k in this Airship Escort. I really love this game mode too. It's very easy to find those broadsides as people are kind of forced to push alongside each other parallel using the map here. You can just see how the ships tend to be forced broadside towards the middle of the map as they follow the airships in, and you can find really nice flanking maneuvers. This is a play I probably would not have made in the past, where if I'm not confident in my ship to deal damage as well as tank, but really to deal damage, I'm not going to push into 2 destroyers in open water, potentially into a crossfire between a Kurfürst and a Montana and Ohio who are pushing the middle of the map. I'm just not going to do that. It's plays like this that I want to be able to make, and you're going to see that this actually helps our team quite a bit here dealing with these 2 DDs. It does help. I have a Des Moines to help radar here, not going to lie. It is about a team support, and it is a team game after all, but there's certain plays that I want to be able to make that I've really questioned in the past, and over the last couple of days, slowly getting a little more confidence back in my ship's ability to hit things and do damage. Feels great. Look at that. 11,000 damage into that Sherman. We did swap over to the HE, of course. If DDs are close enough and you can hit the hull specifically, that's when you're going to do good damage with the HE. If you're hitting into its superstructure, its guns, its torps, that kind of thing, it's very likely that you're going to do less damage since it's just module damage with your HE, where the armor piercing is always going to do that overpen damage. Trying to keep the islands between myself and that Monty in Ohio on the left there, and we're going to try and deal with the Nevsky and Kurfürst. We're still angled to them, and we're able to potentially get behind this island. Hopefully going to do some damage here. Not quite, but the dispersion was still good. That's what I need to look for. It's not like I'm just bracketing people and just not hitting any shells at all. Good 15,000 damage into the GK there. It's about this consistency where I feel like I'm hitting most of my shells, and maybe I just didn't aim quite right. I don't feel like the game is cheating me out of damage, that kind of thing. It feels great. It feels great. I've been saying this a lot this video, but I really need to hammer it home to you guys how different the game feels to me over the last couple days of playing. Broadside Montana, right? 13, 14 kilometers away. This is kind of mid-range sweet spot for these American battleships. Montana, Ohio, they really love playing at these ranges. And sure enough, Citadel's there. Ohio again, notice lock on, unlock, lock on before every salvo. I'm trying to be very diligent about that. Look at that. Look at that dispersion. Beautiful. It's awesome. And then, of course, we get some damage as well, assuming we aimed properly. And of course, positioning-wise, I am looking for opportunities to find these broadsides. Airship Escort, really perfect for that kind of thing. Kurfürst coming in to brawl here at the end. We've basically won this game. But notice the accuracy. We hit all 4 of our front turrets there, our shells from our front turrets. Rear turrets coming in. Are we going to hit all of those as well? Probably, because I trust the dispersion here. Okay, we didn't quite. So we hit 7 out of 8 shells on that salvo. It's so nice. And that's at close ranges where you would expect to hit a lot of shells. It's this consistency that is so nice about playing battleships right now for me. And it really comes down to this lock-on, unlock thing. That's the only thing I've changed. I haven't done anything else different. Maybe I'm playing a little more aggressive because I feel like I can trust my ship a little bit more. But even then, honestly, a lot of these positions are positions I would try and take. This map is not my favorite for Airship Escort, but pushing up to these islands is typically a great way to support your teammates, limit the number of people who can shoot at you, get really good cross shots on people. Front guns only, 22,000 damage into that Monty at 16 kilometers. Feels great. Feels really, really nice. And I'm going to have a follow-up shot here as well. Even though I don't think this one necessarily Citadels him, it's just that confidence and ability to know you're going to do some damage when you catch someone's broadside. It's just really, really nice. This island's also great for just ducking into cover. Okay, we did around 10,000 that time. Not as much, but that's okay. Taking a lot of heat here, and we're able to just push up, go undetected, and limit the number of people who can shoot at us. It's really, really fun to play Airship Escort and feel like I can trust my shells. This salvo, notice the dispersion is good, but my aim is off, right? So then I can learn and adjust my aim. I was aiming for under his rear turret there. When people are turned away or a little more angled like that, if you're aiming for the rear turrets, if they're kiting away from you at that angle, sometimes you'll get better damage, hit their Citadel a little bit easier that way. That time, I guess I just aimed a little too high and a little far back. But I can adjust that. That's something that was my own fault that I can adjust. This one, if I remember right, I don't get any hits here. I'm not sure why. Maybe it hit the island or something. But hey, whatever. It's really this Johan I want you to focus on. How many times have you been here? I know a lot of you have been in this exact position before. You're 7 kilometers away from a cruiser that walks out from behind an island flat broadside. And what happens? Typically, the shells drop shore, you get a bunch of overpens. But hey, this time it didn't happen. Oh, it's so nice. Guys, I have so many good games from the last like 2 days of playing. It's so wonderful. I feel so much happier playing the game. I won't lie, it's fun to do good. It's fun. It's more fun to play well, feel like you're doing lots of damage, winning games. It's much more fun. I like it. So I'm definitely having a good time with World of Warships these days. Look at that, 13K into Ohio superstructure at that angle. Oh, it's amazing. Of course, I'm playing a good ship. Ohio is probably the best, like I said. Worth getting, for sure, for research points. But a bit of a late game ship. You can't really get this very easily as a new player. But the Monty was working pretty well as well. Look at that, over 20K into a broadside Bourgogne. well known for its black hole armor and not eating citadels. It's awesome. And here's a great example. Aim for that rear turret. If they're kind of angled, kiting away from you a bit, aim right under that rear turret, and you're more likely to get good damage. The farther forward you aim, like the Bourgogne did, the more likely you are to bounce. And yeah, 275k in this game, nearly 3 million potential damage. I'm having awesome games in Airship Escort. I hope they keep this mode around forever. It's so much fun. And especially that my battleships are working again. So give Friday's video a watch if you want to know more about this lock-on thing. But I just had to show you guys these games because they just went so well. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.